You don't need 100,000 naira to build a skincare routine for oily skin. If your budget is around 15,000 naira to 20,000 naira, you can still put together a simple routine with good products without spending all your money on skincare. And no, I'm not about to recommend a 30,000 naira cleanser and call it affordable. Mm-mm, I'm not going to do that. So today we are keeping things simple, realistic, and budget friendly. And I'll also tell you what I would buy first if I had only 15,000 naira to spend. So let's get into it. And we're into it. So first, number one will be gentle cleanser. Let's start with the cleansing because you don't need anything complicated here. One affordable option to look at is the simple kind skin refreshing facial wash, like simple. And this product goes for like 4,500 naira to 5,500 naira, depending on where you're getting it from, your location or the seller. And I would like the idea of starting with something simple because oily skin doesn't automatically mean you need a cleanser that feels like it is removing the top layer of your face. Then your cleanser should also help remove excess oil, sweat, dirt, and sunscreen, uneven makeups without leaving your skin feeling painfully tight up afterwards. And here's an important tips. Don't choose a cleanser just because it says oil control. You need to look at the ingredients too. Look at the formula. If you're oily, acne prone skin, if you're oily, acne prone, you can also consider a cleanser containing salicylic acid. But if you're just starting skincare, you don't necessarily need an aggressive acne cleanser every single day. Sometimes simple really is better. Okay, doing a simple routine is really better than having everything, like having plenty skincare routine. Then the second one will be a lightweight moisturizer. Now, this is where people with oily skin usually say, moisturizer for what? Oily skin really need moisturizer. Yes, oily skin need a moisturizer. Please stop skipping moisturizer just because you have oily skin. Oily skin can still become dehydrated. You don't need an expensive moisturizer. One option I found is the Face Fact Ceramide Oil Control Moisturizing Gel. And this moisturizer goes for like 4,500 naira or to 5,000 naira. And I like this type of product for oily skin because you're looking for something lightweight rather than a very heavy cream. The goal is very simple. Hydrate your skin without making you feel like you've added another layer of grease on your skin. And don't apply half the container, like don't apply half of the container. A small amount is usually enough for your face and your neck, a pea-sized amount. Now we're getting to the products I would not skip. I will not skip sunscreen. If you're trying to improve your skin, protect your dark spots, prevent premature skin aging, or simply maintain healthy looking skin, sunscreen deserves a place in your routine. Okay? And you don't need to spend 30,000 naira on sunscreen. There are more affordable SPF 50 options available everywhere. For example, there's Bore UV Aqua Rich Watery Essence sunscreen, and this goes for like from 3,000 naira to 5,000 naira, depending on where you're getting it from. Then another option is Nivea Sun UV Face Shine Control SPF. And this also goes for like 7,950 to 8,000 naira. And if you have oily skin, you may prefer something that feels lightweight or has a less shiny finish. Because let us be honest, you don't want to apply sunscreen and then look in the mirror and 5 minutes later you're already looking like a frying plantain, your face is already greasy, or maybe you have white cast on your face. and you also don't choose sunscreen based on matte finishing alone. Make sure it provides proper broad spectrum protection and that you actually enjoy using it. Because the best sunscreen is the one that you will use consistently, the one that you can afford and use consistently. Now let's talk about the 15,000 naira budget. If your budget is 15,000 naira, what you can do. This is where I really want you to pay attention. If I have 15,000 naira and I was starting from scratch, I wouldn't try to buy six different skincare products. I would prioritize the basics. And I also wouldn't want to buy one 15,000 naira products because one product cannot treat all your skin issues. I'll go for cleanser, moisturizer, and sunscreen. These are the three basic things you need as a beginner. That is your foundation. And depending on the current price of the products and where you're buying them, you may need to shop around or choose the cheaper options in each categories. Okay. For example, if you find a cleanser around 5,500 naira, a lightweight moisturizer around 4,500 naira, and a sunscreen around 5,000 naira, you're already around like 14,000 naira. That is a basic routine, not a 12 not a 12 products or a 7 serum or whatever, or the whole, I don't know, but just the essentials. And honestly, I would rather see someone consistently using three appropriate products than spend 30,000 naira to buying product that they don't even understand. Now, if you have 20,000 naira and you want to start with 20,000 naira as a beginner as well, we have a little more breathing, at least we have like a little more breathing room. You can still keep the same three basics, but you could add more targeted treatment depending on your skin concern. For oily skin, one ingredient worth knowing is niacinamide. It can be useful for people dealing with excess oil, visible pores, uneven skin tone, and a weakened skin barrier. Okay, but here's where I would want you to be careful, like be very careful. Don't buy a serum just because TikTok told you that you need them. And you need to ask yourself, what exactly am I trying to treat? Okay, if your main problem is oiliness and you don't have another major concern, you may not even need a treatment serums immediately. You need to use your 20,000 naira wisely. Sometimes the sunscreen is more important than any other fancy serums. And here's what I would skip if I'm a beginner. If you're working with a tight budget, there are a few things I would not rush to buy. First of all, I will not rush to buy a face scrub. You don't need to physically scrub your face every day to control oil. And secondly, I will also not rush to buy toner just because you think every skincare routine must have one. A toner can be useful, but it is not automatically essential. Okay, yes. Then the third one will be multiple serums. You do not need a vitamin C serum in the morning, niacinamide serum, salicylic acid serum, retinol, and three other products just because you have oily skin. And finally, don't buy products just because they are viral. A viral product can be amazing. It can also be completely unnecessary for your skin. Your routine should be based on your skin needs, not what is trending on the internet or what is trending for that week. In the morning, your simple skincare routine should be cleanser, lightweight moisturizer, your sunscreen. Then at night, it should be your cleanser and your moisturizer. And if you have a specific skin concern, that is where you can slowly introduce your treatment serum, and that is it. And honestly, I think this is one of the biggest misconception about skincare, especially for beginners. People think a good skincare routine has to look expensive or have to look like some certain ways because of things that you see online. It doesn't really need to be like that. A good routine is one that makes sense for your skin, one that doesn't constantly irritate your skin and is affordable enough that you can actually maintain it. You can actually buy them again and use, because what is the point of buying expensive serum once if you can't afford them later, if you can't actually replace it later? So I'd rather you build a routine that you can maintain every month, you can repurchase all the time. Then one last thing I would say is price changes. Okay. So if you're watching this video months after, or maybe whenever you're watching this video, and don't be surprised if the product costs more, or maybe the product might cost more than the price I mentioned. Always compare price from reputable sellers and make sure you're buying genuine products. And don't let a small budget make you feel like you can't take care of your skin. Start with the basics. I I actually believe that everybody can take care of their skin. Everyone can do skincare. It just depends on your budget. Stop looking at the bigger ones, the high end one. Start with cleanser, start with your moisturizer, start with your sunscreen, then build from there. Okay, start from there. You don't need an expensive skincare shops. You need a routine that your skin can tolerate and your wallet can also survive. Okay, you don't need to empty your wallet because of skincare. And if you're struggling with oily skin and breakouts, just don't just keep buying random products. Your next step should be understanding which skincare ingredients actually work for your skin, for your oily skin or your acne prone skin, and which one you should stop wasting your money on. So, we've come to the end of today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. And thank you so much for